Hi guys, Jamie from Boxing Life, and no doubt you've seen the news that Canelo Alvarez will be moving up to Cruiserweight to face Makabu, who's the WBC champion at the moment in that weight category. And yeah, I'm quite shocked by that. I think a couple of days ago, Eddie Reynoso said around facing the likes of Beterbiev, Bivol, Charlo, or Benavidez next for Canelo. And I didn't really see him moving up to cruiserweight straight away, if I'm being honest. I thought he might fight super middleweight once more, or even move up to light heavyweight. But no, they've announced that last night. Sulaiman at the WBC convention, and even he said it's a lot of risk. It's a complex move, but it's already been accepted. I would like to talk with Canelo, with Eddie. Yes, it is a very important risk that would break a lot of patterns. He looks for challenges, but I never saw this coming. Thinking of such a challenge is unthinkable and would put him in a very different position to begin with. Mexican boxing is naturally comprised with smaller weights. Thinking of a Mexican cruiserweight champion is something that breaks absolutely everything. So yeah, I think it's a huge move by Team Canelo. Obviously, personally, the guys at super middleweight, I think he beats easy. I think he beats Benavidez pretty comfortably. I think he beats Charlo comfortably. I would have liked him to move up to light heavyweight and try maybe become undisputed in another division. I think that's more realistic. I think with the cruiserweights, there's such a huge weight difference. Think about it. He was at 168 pounds for that fight. Obviously, would have put on a bit more weight for the fight. And at cruiserweight, you're 200 pounds, so it's like a 30-pound difference, and that is huge. And whether the power will move up with Canelo, will he be able to hurt Makabu in the same way he's been taking out super middleweights and middleweights? I don't think so. I think Makabu is a good fighter. He is a bit rigid at times. He does have, for a cruiserweight, you can move, I guess. But for me, Makabu is just kind of like the perfect test opponent for Canelo and another way to snatch up another belt. I'm not saying Makabu can't win. I think it's one of those where you need to see in the night how Canelo does. And Makabu definitely has the punch power to maybe make Canelo a bit more hesitant, but this is where I feel Canelo will revert back to maybe being a bit more defensively minded, move around the ring a bit more, use his defensive skills against a much slower opponent. And I just can't really see the power moving up with Canelo personally. He might be able to hurt him, but I can't see him knocking out Makabu at all. But I could see him winning the fight by using his boxing skills and moving around the ring and his jab, setting up traps, and just basically outboxing Makabu. I can definitely see that. But yeah, it's just interesting, a really interesting matchup. Makabu is 6 foot. He's 34 years old, so he's still relatively in his prime, I guess you could say. Might be on the decline, but yeah, it's an interesting. I want to see it. I want to see Canelo beef up and see if he can challenge Makabu at that weight or just a cruiserweight. Maybe they want Canelo to be a heavyweight champion one day. Who knows? But clearly, I don't know. They obviously want to become a 5-weight division champion, and I get that. I support that, and maybe going against someone like a Coley or Bridus would have been a bit more of a risk for Canelo's team. And Makabu, maybe they see the gaps in his game, and you can definitely you can watch his fights and you can definitely see the gaps. He does get hit a bit too often, and a superb pound for pound star is going to cause someone like Makabu problems, despite the weight. But Makabu, I think will be pretty confident, regardless, with that weight advantage. He's a natural guy at that weight category, you'd say. He's a big boy. And yeah, I just feel that it's just an intriguing fight. if I'm being honest. I know some people will say, oh, if you really wanted to be great, you'd fight one of the top guys at light heavyweight. I do agree with it to that extent, but it's still a challenge for sure. You cannot say this guy's ducking bigger guys or bigger puncher. Makabu is a big puncher. Um, but yeah, personally, I think light heavyweight is a better move for Canelo. I think it's just it's a huge jump. 6 months he needs to put on 30 pounds, which I'm sure he'll do easily. I don't, he's obviously very dedicated in the gym all the time, but he's going to have to beef up a bit. And who knows what that will do to him? Could that slow him down a bit? We saw that with like Roy Jones in the past, him moving up to heavyweight, then moving back down in weight. And he was never really the same fighter. And you just kind of, you need to be a bit careful with that huge jump in weight. Or maybe, like I said, Canelo wants to operate around that weight going forward. But yeah, guys, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are in the comments below. Are you disappointed by Canelo fighting Makabu, moving up to Cruiserweight? Or are you happy? Are you glad to see he's kind of wanting to challenge himself at a new weight division? Yes, I know Makabu might not be regarded as one of the best fighters ever, but I'm intrigued to see how this fight will pan out. On that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.